Welcome race fans to a very special event that we are holding out here with KMA TV and KMA Racing tonight. It is all about our good friend, one of our older drivers, our veteran drivers. Tonight is the Happy Birthday Ivan Michigan 125 laps coming to you, ladies and gentlemen, live from Michigan International Speedway. Going to be a lot of fun out here tonight as we celebrate Ivan Garcia's 73rd birthday. Going to be a good night out here. Drivers are taking up their qualifying positions out here tonight. Going to take a look at our qualifying order. Out there on that front line, we have Mark Jackson. No surprise there with a 39.895. Devin Armstrong sitting in second position with a 39.912. Sitting in third, we have Dustin Lee with a 39.940. Danny Rudy with a 39.942. And rounding out our top five, Mitchell Reeves with a 39.945. Dustin Markham in sixth position. Tristan Beats and David Washington in seventh and eighth. Ninth and 10th belonging to John Pansula and Ronald Hartfeld. Mark Allen sitting in 11th position. Donald Stewart sitting in 12th. Jason Covington, 13th. Jack Watts, position 14th. Freeman Kelly sitting in 15th. Dustin Covington back there in 16th position. Brian Dorsett, 17th. Gary Whitmer Jr. tonight in position 18th. 19th is Ivan Garcia, the birthday man himself, position 19. Brian Bizzle, position 20th. Back in 21st, we have Paul Cohen, position 22. Belonging to James 0000 Brown. John Henderson sitting back in 23rd. Ronald Klein in 24th. Gary Whitmer is in position 25. Lloyd Saunders is in 26th. Lee Ryerson 27th. Kevin Scott Nelson 28th. Craig Covington, Anthony Post in 29th and 30th. Mark Bowes in 31st. Joel Guy sitting back in 32nd. Chuck Dix, Jake Ritchie, Chris Hogue rounding out the rear of that field with 35 drivers out here tonight for the Happy Birthday .125 laps coming at you, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Jackson out there on that front line, leading us out tonight. Drivers very excited to be out here celebrating birthday with Ivan Garcia. Pace car is in. And we are off. Mark Jackson has had a most excellent week this week, winning Monday and Tuesday, bringing home a fourth place last night, off to a very good start tonight. Starts and restarts are everything on every track, and what a great start out here. But you know, they got to keep in mind it is 125 laps. .125 long, grueling laps out here at Michigan. Michigan, one of our larger tracks, not necessarily what we would consider a speedway, such as Talladega, but definitely plenty of time to get up to some pretty decent speeds going around this mile-and-a-half speedway. Mark Jackson looking very sharp in the over-the-top paints and designs at number 3, Budweiser America. Big shout out there to John Hedrick. Keeping Mark Jackson looking very sharp. Over the Top Paints and Designs. You can check him out on Facebook. Big shout out there to John Hedrick. Number 32 and number 33 tight in tow. 33 belonging to Devin Armstrong. 32 belonging to Dustin Lee, the boys from Loose Lugnuts Racing out here tonight. We've got Brian Dorsett, Brian Bizzle, Craig Covington, Dustin Covington, Jason Covington. Wonder if those guys are related. What do you think? Dustin Lee in the number 32. Putting a good run on the number 3 of Mark Jackson, number 33. Caution is out. That will be our first caution of the night. 3 wide with John Pansula. Number 22, right there it is, the number 22. We're going to watch this up in a little bit of a slow-mo action. Figure out exactly what happened with the number 22. Everything's going along just fine. A little bit of contact there. The Burger King 0-1 taking a pretty darn hard hit. Number 22 down into the 0-1, bringing out our first caution of the night. Tough break there for John Pansula in the 0-1. You always hate to see that happen. And then he gets hit again. But I tell you what, look at that aerial. Have you ever seen aerial such as that? 22 belonging to Danny Rudy. Bringing out our first caution of the night. Drivers in pit row. Number 22, Danny Rudy, unfortunately bringing out our first caution of the night, and he didn't get a whole lot of damage on that, but the 0-1 of John Pansula. Tough break. John Pansula able to get it into pit row, but he is smoking. That'll give us a chance to talk to our birthday boy tonight, Ivan Garcia. Ivan Garcia tonight in the number 72 Tide. How about it, Ivan Garcia? Have you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, how you doing? Happy birthday.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, it's a little woo going in front of me there. I don't know which way to go, but I made it through there somehow.
Well, that's that birthday luck. All right, Ivan, I want to hear all about you, sir. It's your birthday coming up on the 18th of this month, I do believe. How old are you going to be?
I'm going to be 73 years young.
73 years young for Ivan Garcia, the birthday boy. Now, tell me about those 73 years. That's a mighty long time. Good living gets you where you're at.
Oh, yes, sir. You know, you have to believe in God and do everything the right way and don't get in trouble and love one another like I always preach, you know, and love one each other. Don't fight, just love each other. And that's my motto.
And have you got any big plans once your actual birthday day gets here?
Oh, no, me and the wife, you know, going out.
Going out and get yourself some Red Lobster or some steakhouse, I would assume.
Yes, sir.
All right, talk to me a little bit about Michigan out here. You had picked Michigan. Do you have a partiality to Michigan?
Yes, sir. I love this track because it's nice and wide. You can race, you know, you got plenty of room. You can't say, you know, I hate you because we don't have no room. But here we got 5-car wide, you know, no problem.
All right, we'll copy that. Well, a couple of drivers not getting the memo about that 5-car wide. Nonetheless, good to see you are alive and well on the track, and alive and well, and turning 73. All right, Ivan Garcia, happy birthday.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for everybody that showed up for my race and the people watching. Thank you.
That is Ivan Garcia. Big shout out there to Ivan Garcia, one of our veteran drivers. Going to take a quick look at our running order. We've got Mark Jackson, Dustin Markham, David Washington, Tristan Beats, and Jason Covington out there on that front line. High hopes out here for Mark Jackson. Doing a hell of a job last night, though. Last week, 2 wins and a 4th place position. Ronald Klein out here representing tonight. Donald Stewart, Gary Whitmer. Gary Whitmer, Sr. and Jr. out here tonight. Big shout out there to the Whitmer family. Gonna get back to Green Flag Racing. Mark Jackson out there on that front line. Huge field out here tonight at Michigan. Beautiful trucks out here. Beautiful night for racing. Beautiful night for a birthday party. Ivan Garcia, a spiritually beautiful man himself. Last year we had Ivan's 72nd birthday race at the Pocono track. Had a lot of fun out there last year. Mark Jackson leading our first restart of the night. Early caution on lap 6. Pace car is in.
Green flag, green flag. Everybody's rolling.
Dustin Lee, mid-pack. Number 22, Danny Rudy, back out on that track looking good. Side-by-side action with Danny Rudy and the number 32 of Dustin Lee. Dustin Lee down to that inside. Coming up on the number 10. Number 10 of Jason Covington, 5th position. Top 4 drivers, Dustin Markham in the number 2 has made his way up there to the front of this pack. Three-wide action there with Dustin Markham and Mark Jackson. Number 98. All over the rear end of Mark Jackson. Number 98 belonging to David Washington. David Washington, one of our finer and faster drivers, no stranger to victory lane. But nor is Mark Jackson out here tonight representing Over the Top Paints and Designs. Dustin Markham in the number 2 Playboy. Caution is out. Taking a look at Tristan Beats in the 211 DFDA.org. Actually, we were just looking at Dustin Markham. And it appears that Dustin Markham getting into the number 98. Tough break there for Dustin Markham. Just a little bit of a nick. And that is all it takes as we watch the number 2 possibly slide up into the number 98. 211 into the number 98. Tough break there for Dave. Double hit as the number 27. Absolutely nowhere to go as the number 27, Brian Dorsett. Just nowhere he could go. There was nowhere to go. Tough break. Second caution of the night is out. Mark Jackson still out there on that front line. His drivers head back into pit row. Two early cautions out here tonight at Michigan in the Happy Birthday Ivan. Michigan 125, 114 laps to go under caution one more time. Well, the good news is Mark Jackson has led every lap out here so far. Bad news is 2 cautions. Number 1 of Lee Ryerson showing his support for Christmas and Pad. Big shout out there to Lee Ryerson. Gary Whitmer Jr. matching trucks. Chris Hogue matching it up as well. 3 of these beautiful Christmas trucks out here tonight. Going to check in with Mark Jackson and get his thoughts and input. Although we are having communication problems with Mark Jackson, has a muted microphone, so we cannot talk to Mark Jackson. Well, that's unfortunate. Mark Jackson, always a awesome interview. Tristan Beats sitting in pit row waiting for his repairs. John Henderson in the U.S. Navy back out on that track. Jason Covington in the number 10, waiting to find his way back into the pack. How about it, Jason Covington? Have you got a copy?
Yep.
All right, off to a little bit of a rough start out here at Michigan. What do you think?
Yeah, it's going to be like that. It's a hard track to run on, and like the first couple of laps, everybody's just so close to each other. It puts you in that predicament.
What are some of the things we can do out here to make this a better night that you could tell the guys out there on this 1.5 mile speedway?
Just take your time, get back, get relaxed, just get in a rhythm, because it's a long way to go, and we keep running these caution laps. It's going to be even longer.
All right, copy that. Now, I understand you're part of the Loose Lug Nuts team, and your head honcho out there is John Hedrick with Over the Top Paints and Designs. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh yeah, we run, I don't know exactly what they run during the week because I work second shift, but we run Friday night street stocks and super late models, and we run Saturday night trucks.
All right, copy that, and a little bit about the paint shop.
Yeah, John, he knocks out a bunch of paints, that's killer paints. Half of the trucks here is running over the top paints. I did some painting for a while, and I just got out of it here lately. I don't have the time really to do it anymore.
All righty, copy that. Good information, and good luck to you and the guys from Loose Lug Nuts.
Appreciate it.
Big shout out there to John Hedrick with Over the Top Paints and Designs and the boys over at Loose Lug Nuts coming over to hang out for Ivan's birthday race. We appreciate that. 2 early cautions, though, a little bit by surprise. Mark Jackson owning it already tonight. Mark Jackson back into pit row for a second time. Lloyd Saunders still in it. Devin Armstrong still alive. Devin Armstrong in the number 33 side by side with the number 7 of Chuck Dix. Number 98, David Washington, appears to have gotten his truck fixed and back out on that field. Mark Jackson has fallen back to position 23. Jason Covington back in 24th. Gary Whitmer moving his way up this field. Position 7. Side by side with Dustin Markham, and we are away and off. Drivers don't seem to be having a problem with the starts or the restarts. It's once they get to moving. Hopefully these drivers will be settling down and getting to some green flag racing. I'd like to see some green flag pit stops out here tonight on this 1.5 mile Michigan Speedway. 3 wide up in front with Dustin Markham. Back down to 2 wide. Three wide, Dustin Markham for the lead around the number 35 and the 21 of Freeman Kelly. John Pansulin, the 0-1 still out there. Tore up in the first caution. That'll put Dustin Markham out there on that front line. He fought hard for it. He deserves it. Number 35 of Mark Allen challenging. Caution is out. Number 6 of Chris Hogue going for a ride on that wall. Nice little camera shot right there. We'll watch as Chris Hogue gets up onto that wall. I've heard of riding the rim at skateboard parks. But I tell you what a job by Chris Hogue keeping it up there. Hell of a ride, though, there. Number 6 of Chris Hogue bringing out the third caution of the night within 17 laps. That'll definitely cost Chris Hogue his one reset, but these drivers were given 2 resets out here for tonight's race. Number 32, Dustin Lee into pit row. James Brown representing Cora. 00 of James Brown. I do want to talk a little bit about James Brown. James Brown, a supporter of PAD in association with Max Mount. Max Mount holding your devices for you so you can keep 2 hands on the wheel. James Brown showing his support for Pad. In purple. Looking very sharp out there. How about it, James? You got a copy?
I do, Scott. Good evening.
All right, I specifically wanted to talk to you a little bit about Max Mount and Pad. I see you're driving the purple rims in support of Pad. Tell us all about Max Mount and Pad and how we can stay alive this Christmas season.
Well, Max Mount is a handheld, or is a portable mount for a handheld device for hands-free driving, which is what we're all about at where you guys are all about at Pad and Cora, and it's really a nifty device. It's one of the best on the market. It's solid, durable, and definitely great for the hands-free.
Alrighty, copy that. Now, a little bit of a rough night out here already early on. 3 cautions within 18 laps of 125. What's the atmosphere down there on that field?
Well, they seem a little pushy at first because these guys know they can run first 3 or 4 laps wide open, and my teammates and we're in save mode. I wasn't even trying to get up this far in the field, but we've just been saving, and that's what we're going to continue to do. So you'll probably see us fall back here on the start of the runs, and then we'll try to catch back up there when everybody's tires goes away.
Well, I am seeing your teammate John Pansula up there on that front line. Is he comfortable being up there?
He is for now. We got into an accident earlier, and he's in his backup, and he didn't pit on the last pit stop, thus bringing him up towards the front.
All righty, copy that. Good luck to you, James Brown.
Thank you, Scott, and I'd like to wish happy birthday to Ivan Garcia. Happy birthday, Ivan.
Happy birthday, Ivan Garcia, indeed. Ivan Garcia, our birthday boy, a little bit further back in the pack in the number 72 tied. John Pansula out there on that front line. Looking very sharp in the 0-1 Burger King. Number 21 onto his outside. Ivan Garcia, 73 years young. Coming up in just over a week. Gary Whitmer Jr. back in 5th position. Gary Whitmer Sr. Nice looking truck there by. I'm not sure who the painter is, but Gary Whitmer looking very sharp, showing his support for the holidays. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Drivers have yet to get more than about 7 laps in. Rough start out here at Michigan. John Pansula, James Brown lined up on that inside lane. Freeman Kelly, Ronald Klein, number 76 of Ronald Klein on that outside lane, 2nd position. And away goes John Pansula. Ronald Klein showing his support for Pad with RTK Motorsports. James Brown with a run on the inside. Side by side with Ronald Klein. Number 33 tight in tow. 33 up Devin Armstrong. Devin Armstrong making a run on that outside lane against James Brown. Number 17 of Jake Ritchie on the rear end of James and Devin. Jake Ritchie with a big move down to that inside lane. Side by side with James Brown. Number 17, Jake Ritchie, sitting in 5th position. Plenty of time to get her done. No hurry, no worry, no scurry. Number 35 of Mark Allen, side by side with Jake Ritchie. Looking for some green flag pit stops out here in the Happy Birthday Ivan Michigan 125. Caution is out. Looking at the number 2 of Dustin Markham caught up in it, but it looks like the number 6 and the number 9. Looks like the number 6 coming up across the bow of the number 9. Tough break there for Chris Hogue. Tough break there for the number 9 of Brian Bizzle. Not exactly what we wanted to see happen out here tonight. Chris Hogue and Brian Bizzle getting caught up. Bringing out our 4th caution of the night. Now, I tell you what, folks, they talk about how cautions breed cautions. And indeed, tonight cautions are breeding cautions. Lap 24 of 125. Big shout out there to Becky Whitmer joining us in the Happy Birthday Ivan Garcia. Rough start. Underneath 4 cautions in 25 laps. The bulk of the field rolling into pit row. Number 19, Lloyd Saunders, staying out. How about Lloyd? Have you got a copy?
I do. Go ahead, Scott.
How are you doing out here tonight?
Not too bad.
All righty. Well, I tell you what, underneath 4 cautions in 25 laps, when you get back up there, tell the boys they're scaring me. What do you think?
I don't know. That's why I didn't bother pitting the last 2 times. I'm staying away from the back. I thought it was safe back there, but not today.
All righty. We are taking a look around the number 19 Chevy Silverado. Do not open till Christmas. What is that all about?
Underneath this wrapping is the Sanadega truck.
The Sanadega truck, and we can't see it until we
23rd.
Till the 23rd, we get a Sanadega. All right, well, I'm looking forward to it. I tell you, a lot of Christmas trucks out here tonight. A lot of trucks showing their support for PAD. We've never talked to you about PAD. You're up there in Canada. Do they have anything similar to PAD up there in Canada?
They do in Ontario, a couple of provinces over from me, and you know, I'm kind of hoping it spreads out because you know it is a good thing. It brings awareness.
And do they have stiff penalties up there for driving while texting?
Somewhere's around $300.
That's a pretty stiff penalty as far as I'm concerned. All right, now you said you're staying away from the back. You're on your way up there to the front. What is your mindset with these 4 early cautions?
Well, I don't know. There probably going to be a couple of more, but you know, hopefully we can stay at them and keep this wrapping paper around this thing so nobody gets a peek. And with any luck, we'll get a good green flag run in here somewhere.
All righty, copy that. Good luck to you, Lloyd.
Well, thank you very much, Scott. Just want to wish Ivan a happy birthday, too. It's one race I wasn't missing.
Lloyd Saunders in the number 19. Lee Ryerson on his rear end in the number 1. Driving around in the pad Christmas truck. How about it, Lee? Have you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the truck. You're looking real sharp out there. You got a Chris Hogue out there in the same paint scheme along with Gary Whitmer Jr. Did you guys team up and decide you're going to come out here and look like a bunch of Twinkies?
No, we did not plan that. You know, it's like we woke up in the morning and we all decided to put on the same shirt and go into work or something, you know. It's pretty funny.
All right,
At least we're all running some different rims.
Yeah, you're all looking alike to me. Actually, I have to get down and look at that number. I tell you what, talk to me about what you think's going on out here, because I tell you what, 4 cautions early on, it's a little bit of a rough night.
It is. It is. I think we got some guys that are just pushing a little too much in the corner, and I mean, I don't know. It is. It's a little rough, and hopefully we get everything calmed down and we get some green flag stops here instead of yellow flag stops. So.
All righty, and how are we going to go about doing that?
We all need to settle down, you know. We got our captain in here giving us commands. NASCAR centers yelling at us, telling us all to calm down and get focused, and we're better than this, but, you know, let's see what we can do.
All righty, good luck to you there, Lee Ryerson Jr.
10-4, thanks, bud.
Lee Ryerson Jr. side by side with the number 19, getting ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. Mark Jackson side by side with the number 52. Ivan had picked Michigan. Not sure if Ivan is regretting picking Michigan out here tonight. Ronald Klein making his way up there to position 2. Freeman Kelly on position 1. Devin, position 3. Jake Ritchie, position 4. James Brown, position 5. Lee Ryerson, position 6. One more restart out here in the Michigan 125. Happy birthday, Ivan Garcia. Hopefully these drivers will be able to get out here and get into some long green flag runs. Number 33, number 76. Side by side for position 2. Ronald Klein on the inside, getting a big run on Devin. Ronald Klein representing RTK Motorsports, getting a run on the number 21 of Freeman Kelly. Freeman Kelly up. Freeman Kelly back down with a big crossover. Jake Ritchie watching all this, trying to find his way through this field. In-car action with Jake Ritchie as we do ride our way around Michigan. Ronald Klein leaving that door open on the inside, and Jake Ritchie getting a foot in very tight with the number 76. Backing off, losing that momentum. Freeman Kelly, Devin Armstrong, positions 1 and 2. Ronald Klein in 3rd. The birthday boy near the rear of the field in position 30. Caution is out. Taking a look at Craig Covington possibly involved. Nope, Craig Covington just a victim. Caution indeed was ahead of Craig Covington. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what, if these drivers continue on in this fashion, we're not going to have any drivers left. They were given an extra reset out here tonight. Here's the number 32, getting a little tap from the number 10. Bringing out our 5th caution of the night, and then just a complete and utter traffic jam. Leaders still alive. Happened about mid-pack. All right, ladies and gentlemen, underneath this caution, we are going to take a couple of quick commercial breaks. We'll be right back with you.
Yes, sir, I got a copy. Oh, I'm just trying to stay out of trouble, pretty much the way it seems everything's going tonight. Yes, it has. I'm very surprised by how many cautions we've had so far. Yeah, it snowed a little bit here in Kentucky today, so I thought I'd get the drone out and take some pictures, see how it does in the snow. It did pretty good today. You can find me on Facebook at F Kelly Drone, and you can also find me on YouTube at Freeman Kelly Drone. Just more cautions, maybe the way it's going. Yeah, it wouldn't be too much longer the way we're going. I still have both my resets. Pretty much, yeah. Alright, thank you.
Hey, Scott. I'm good, sir. I just wanted to pop in real quick because we can't hear you in the broadcast, sir.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies for that microphone issue. Rough night out here tonight, Chris. What do you think?
Yeah, it is, Scott. It is a rough night, and unfortunately, my night ended real early because I brought out 2 cautions.
Copy that. Well, you feel like hanging out with me for a while. I don't think I've ever had the pleasure of having you in the booth. You can hang out here and talk to me and keep me company. Talk to me about what these drivers out here tonight, they're having a fit with Michigan. What do you think the problem is, Chris?
Scott, I think you know, they're just they're a little anxious. I think they're wanting to kind of get to the front. They definitely need to be a lot more patient, a lot more give and take, and they just need to settle down and get some green flag pit stops tonight.
Green flag pit stops indeed would be nice. We've got Alan Larson joining us as well. How about it, Alan?
Yeah there, Scott. Go ahead.
What's your thoughts on tonight's race? 5 cautions early on.
Yeah, no doubt. It's definitely a cluster. I'd like to see a little green flag racing here, but did you unmute your mic on the broadcast there, buddy? I
did. I was during those commercial breaks. My bad. I apologize for that. Well, I'm going to have to write myself out a sticky note one day, I tell you what. Now, your partner out here, John Pansula, he's actually not having a bad night out here.
Yeah, he's not having a bad night.
Driving the number 01 Burger King. That's a brand new paint job out there for John Pansula. You've also got James Brown out here tonight.
Well, I'm just turning into a truck stop. Give me just a minute here, and I will be right back with you.
All righty, copy that. Now, Chris, as Alan is getting himself... James Brown, serious front end damage, though, I tell you what. Front end damage out here at Michigan definitely will affect you. Lap 44 of 125, 81 to go. Jim Brown sitting in 11th position. Gary Whitmer Jr. sitting in 12th. Gary Whitmer still alive, doing a good job out here tonight. Gary Whitmer Sr. in the number 52, further back in the field. Number 27 coming around the number 52. Devin Armstrong and Ronald Klein still putting on one fine show out here. David Washington falling back to 24th position, 2 laps down though. Kevin Scott Nelson, one of our favorite drivers out here tonight in the number 224. No hurry to get to that front of the pack. Chris Hogue out, Mitchell Reeves out, Mark Bowes is out, Jack Watts is out. Paul Cohen out as well. Looking at the number 22, number 19, Lloyd Saunders. Ronald Klein with RTK Motorsports. John Pansula, Burger King. In that cage with John Pansula as Jake Ritchie comes ripping by. John Pansula in 7th, Jake Ritchie in 6th. Lap 48 up 125. Not quite to that halfway point. Ronald Klein making his way up there to that front line. Mark Jackson up to 2nd position. Tristan Beats 1 lap down. First driver 1 lap down. And one more time, Alan, that caution is out. Joel Guy up into the wall. Tell you what, Michigan being too tough, too tame tonight for these drivers. Six cautions by lap 50. Our birthday boy, Ivan Garcia, 4 laps down.
I'm going to have to reset here. I'll be right back.
Copy that. Copy that. Six cautions totaling 19 laps, 6 lead changes. Ronald Klein out there on that front line. Ronald Klein, Mark Jackson, Donald Stewart making their way into pit row. Ronald Klein a little further up in the box than he wanted to be. Number 52, Gary Whitmer Sr. into pit row. James Brown pulling into his spot. Away goes Ronald Klein, Gary Whitmer Sr. Race off of pit row. Gonna get a chat in with Ronald Klein. How about it, Ronald? Have you got a copy?
Yes, sir. Scott, go ahead.
All right, well, first off, welcome to the happy birthday, Ivan Garcia. I'm not quite sure how Ivan's feeling right now. He had picked this 2-point mile speedway. But I tell you what, rough night out here for Michigan. What do you think?
It's been a rough night for sure, Scott. I don't know what's going on. We played strategy. We stayed out as long as we thought we could. We pitted that last time. That put us on good tires. That's basically got us to the front. Drove around a couple of faster guys. Had a couple of faster guys coming from behind. Just had a bad pit stop here. Hopefully we'll get back to green flag race and stay green flag.
Well, what do you reckon the situation is going on out here? Because I tell you what, you know, these drivers, they run with each other every night. There's no stranger danger going on out here. But I don't know, 6 cautions and 51 laps. These drivers are struggling.
It's a product of the speedway. The trucks have, you're basically winding them up as tight as you can, and you try to keep them wound up as tight as you can. Barely lifting in the corners or maybe doing some trail braking. A lot of guys are not doing either one, and that will cause the truck to push. You can get away with it for first 2 laps or so. without lifting, but after that, if you're not lifting or trail braking, the truck will push. And I've been hearing a lot of guys saying that they've, been hitting the wall and whatnot, and the truck's tight, and so that seems to be the case. People are just overdriving the trucks, in my opinion.
Now, with the extra reset tonight, do you think that is making these drivers drive a little bit more aggressively?
Honestly, Scott, in the beginning of the race, I thought, I didn't qualify, I wanted to start in the back, stay out of trouble, and I was going to go for it because we had the extra reset, kind of go a little bit harder than I normally would. And then I just decided, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to wait. And so that actually might be an issue or a reason why.
All righty, copy that. And tell us real quick about RTK Motorsports.
RTK Motorsports is my racing company. I race in real life dirt track racing, and we're getting ready to kick off a little more. My wife's going to become the president of the company, and I'm going to be the CEO, and we're going to get into a little more racing business. So it's going to be pretty cool.
All righty, awesome stuff coming to you from RTK. Good luck, Ronald.
Thanks, Scott. You have a good night.
All right, Alan, how about it?
Hey, you got me now, Slick?
I got you. How you doing?
We're doing just fine. We just got parked for the evening.
All right, getting yourself all settled in. Ronald and I were talking about the 6 cautions and the guys needing to be settled in. With lap 53, 54 in sight, 72 to go, it's about time to get settled in. What do you think?
Yeah, it's long past time to get settled in. I don't know what's going on out here. Oh man, it's getting pretty bad.
Well, hopefully these drivers will get it together. And for the most part, everybody's doing a good job, but, it only takes one driver getting loose. And there are no bad drivers out here. That is definitely for sure. Just drivers maybe over-driving a little bit. Now, talking about the terminology, talk to us about what overdriving is exactly, because there's a lot of overdriving going on tonight.
Overdriving is having a little bit more confidence in your tires than they can actually give you. You go into the corner a little faster than you want to, or that the tires want to, even though that you may feel comfortable doing so.
Back to green flag racing. Ronald Klein sitting in 4th position. Now, we've been watching Ronald Klein quite a bit tonight. He's doing actually a very good job. Donald Stewart beginning to make his way up there towards the front. A lot of drivers out here definitely hungry tonight. Devin Armstrong, though. Mark Jackson up here in the front. Mark Jackson doing an awesome job this week. Have you got any thoughts on who you think is going to win the Happy Birthday Ivan Garcia Michigan 125? Mark Jackson definitely would love to win this out tonight.
Yeah, Mark's had a pretty good week, ain't he?
Awesome week. 2 first places, 1 4th place the last night. I do believe Mark Jackson has got both of his resets out here tonight still. He's got some pretty stiff competition with Donald Stewart and Ronald Klein. Devin Armstrong holding top 5 most of the night so far. John Hedrick opting for Mark Jackson to win it tonight. And I think, Mark Jackson stands a very high chance to win it tonight.
Yeah, he's definitely got a strong truck. He's had a strong truck all week. He's definitely going to be one that's in contention.
Number 19, Lloyd Saunders. Number 32, number 96, number 1 still in it. Number 1 of Lee Ryerson. 96 and 32 side by side. .32 belonging to Dustin Covington, coming around the number 11. Now, we were talking earlier with James Brown about Max Mount. Could you elaborate a little bit more while we are under Green Flag Racing about Max Mount?
Sure can. Max Mount is one of the most durable devices that you'll ever get to hold your phone or GPS or device on your dash without having to, keep it in your hands or on your seat. And it's, fairly affordable. It's not, going to break the bank, and it's a real nice little device, and it keeps you hand-free and keeps you from, having to use your hands on your phone, and, we all know where that can lead.
Thousands of drivers killed every year from distracted driving. Now, you're a truck driver. Do you see it out there on the road? Is it really a big problem?
Oh, yeah. It's amazing what I see in the road. We got a little bit higher view. We got, a better view than most do. And it's
I imagine it's pretty scary out there, driving the big rigs across the intercontinental United States. But Alan Larson and James Brown, huge supporters of Pad and Max Mount. Devin Armstrong still putting up a very solid fight. Drivers appear they may be going for some green flag racing. We are about 10 laps out of our longest haul of the night. We are at just almost to that halfway point.
Sorry about that. My wife decided she wanted to call my phone while I was talking there.
I copy that.
Technology. Ain't it great?
Not a problem. So do you carry one of these Max Mount devices in your truck?
No, actually, I carry 3 of them. I've got one in the back for my phone or my tablet when I want to watch TV or something back there, and then I've got 2 in front here, one for my tablet and one for my phone.
And they just attach right up there to your dash and hold your tablet or your iPhone or your Galaxy.
Yes, sir. That they do. There's like 4 or 5 different sizes that we have right now, and I forget the count of how many different devices these things will hold.
Looking at Craig Covington and the number 96. Still got a ways to go to get up there to that front line, but Alan, it looks like we may be getting into some green flag racing. And I tell you, Alan, I am really taken off guard by the 6 early cautions here.
Yeah, definitely, especially after that Charlotte race went caution-free.
Now, next week, we are going to be running the boys down to Indianapolis. Hopefully, that'll be some good track racing there at Indy. But again, a track that we haven't ran out here for a while, like Michigan. Do you think that had anything to do with it? Because we do run 1 track per week. And, they're very familiar with Phoenix. They're very familiar with Vegas, Talladega, Daytona. But I could not tell you when the last time they ran Michigan.
Well, how familiar are they with Charlotte? And they ran that caution-free, correct?
Correct.
Well, I don't know. I think it's just a matter of people getting over-aggressive here a little bit.
See, you don't think it's the track, you don't think it's the car, you think it's more based upon the driver.
Yeah, I really do.
Well, you know what? I would tend to agree with you because a lot of drivers I have heard, not complain, but talk about the set being loose, the set being tight, the set being off. And we do run the basic iRacing fixed set, so we basically give you a vehicle, and you drive that vehicle and you get used to that vehicle, and when race day comes, you've done put that vehicle up into the wall. You know, there's a wonderful 7-letter word called practice. Might be 8 letters. I'm on the fly here, but nonetheless, you know, now Gary Whitmer, he practiced out here, ran well over, I think, 200 laps out here for Monday's Xfinity race, and he finished in 5th position. Practice pays off.
Well, not only that, the other thing that pays off is patience. How many letter word is that?
8. I had to count.
10-4. Patience has a lot to do with it, too.
It does. It really does. You got to know when to hold them. You got to know when to fold them. And right now we're on lap 65 of 125 still. 60 to go. Gary Whitmer on the rear end of John Pansula onto the rear end of the number 10, Jason Covington. And it's still no reason to get into any big hurry out here yet. Donald Stewart. Go ahead.
No, there's still plenty of time to go here. We can get some good racing in here yet.
Donald Stewart, Mark Jackson, Devin Armstrong up there in our top 3. Ronald Klein has dropped down to 4th. James Brown sitting in 14th position.
I think if James Brown brings the truck back with more than a steering wheel, he'll be ecstatic.
He is looking pretty good out here, side by side with the number 211 of Tristan Beats. Several drivers, 1 lap, 2 laps down. Drivers were given 2 resets out here tonight. Not sure if that might have anything to do with possibly the continual overdriving of the track.
No, I really don't think so. I really don't. Whether you had 1 reset, 0 resets, or 5 resets, they're still gonna get up on the wheel. You know, everybody out here is pretty competitive.
Now you are pretty familiar with a lot of these drivers out here tonight, are you not?
Yeah. I've been around. I've watched quite a few of them. Some of them ran with us. Some of them that are out here ran with us in our Cora series, and you know, a lot of them I've raced with quite a bit. You know, in other rooms and even in the KMA when I'm able to get on and race with it. You know, so yeah, I'm familiar with quite a few of them.
Caution is out as the number 19 of Lloyd Saunders. Does appear the number 19 of Lloyd Saunders up into that wall. Down onto the number 72 of Ivan Garcia. You just hate to have that happen to our sponsor for the night, Ivan Garcia. But as the number 19 of Lloyd Saunders does pop up into that wall and ricochets down to the number 19 of, or number 72 of Ivan, 19 into the wall, down onto the 72. Wow, tough break. 7th caution of the night, Alan.
Yeah, that's a bummer. That is a total bummer, especially for Ivan. I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage here. I'm not sitting in front of my computer at home on the so I can watch it live. I've got a little bit of a delay here. The caution hasn't even come out on the broadcast that I'm watching yet.
All right, well, copy that. Well, I tell you what, you can be a fan and watch that delay, but I tell you what, you hate to see our sponsor of the night, Ivan Garcia, get caught up into it. Ivan Garcia right now into pit row getting fixed. And I tell you what, Ivan took a hit right there.
Yeah, he did. But I haven't seen him in. I think he's pretty much stayed out of trouble. I think he might have another reset left.
I think he does. You know, I do not recall him having any problems at all. Mark Jackson out there on that front line, getting his truck fixed up. Now we would try to talk to Mark Jackson earlier on, but he had a microphone situation going on, so we're going to let Mark Jackson get on the roll, and then we're going to talk to Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson beginning to roll his way out of pit row. So stay tuned. Here in about 10 seconds, we're going to get Mark Jackson out here on that horn. How about it, Mark? Have you got a copy?
Hey, Scott.
Hey, Mark. How are you?
Man, what a race we're having. A lot of cautions there at the beginning. Then we got a long run. Managed to work our way back up to the front in our over-the-top paints and design Chevrolet. Man, hoping we can see this thing go great into the end. Just want to wish Ivan Garcia, my good longtime friend, happy birthday. I know he's had a little bit of unfortunate bad luck tonight, but he's with us in the spirit. Hopefully we can get up there and honor him on his birthday by bringing us a win home.
All right, copy that. What do you think is the reason out here tonight for such a rough night?
Well, I don't know if I can explain it. I mean, guys know that this is a big, wide racetrack, and you can go pretty much flat out for the first maybe 5, 10 laps, maybe 15 laps. And then you got to start picking a line that's, if you get a long run, you're going to have to save a little bit of tire somehow. If you get a short run, it's just a little bit of aggressiveness, and, you know, it's going to be a little bit of that and tire management. Hopefully we can, cooler heads will prevail and have a good race.
All righty, copy that. Now, you're back there in 5th position. I asked the fans, I've asked Alan, can you pick a winner tonight for me, Mark?
Well, of course I'm going to pick myself. Yeah, but I don't know, man. There's a lot of fast race trucks in here, a lot of good drivers from Loose Lug Nuts League, from KMA. Got a lot of friends in here, so we're racing our asses off. We're going to try to get this thing up front for Loose Lug Nuts and over the top paints and designs.
All righty, good luck to you, Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson out there on that front row. What are you thinking right now, Alan?
I'm thinking he's got a pretty good shot at it. He's, like I said, he's been strong all week. He's got two first place finishes, a 4th place finish, and he's, you know, running right up there now. So I would definitely not bet against him, that's for sure.
Joining us in the booth is Donald Stewart. How about it, Donald Stewart? Have you got a copy?
Yeah, sir, Scott, I got you.
All right, what's on your mind right now, Donald?
My mind is to stay up front.
Stay up front and out of trouble.
Out of trouble, clean air.
Now, how are you on your trucks? You brought 2 with you. Have you got them both clean?
I still got one. That one restart would have had a big checkup. I kind of got into Devon a little bit. Had a little bit of damage, but I didn't want to chance it, so I just went ahead and got it fixed.
All right, copy that. How are the other drivers treating you?
They're pretty good. I mean, once we get going and get spread out, I haven't really had no close calls.
All right, so you were good to go out there on that front line.
Yeah, as long as I can stay up here and kind of save my tires a little bit, I think I got something for them.
All right, good luck to you, Donald.
Thank you, buddy.
Donald Stewart out there on that front line, lap 72 of 125 laps. 72 in the books, 8 lead changes, 7 cautions, totaling out 26 laps. While I've got time, Alan, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors. Pi 5 Pizza, Pro Automotive, Richie B, and GW Graphics, and don't forget about Pad.
Yeah, 10-4. Don't forget about MaxMount.
MaxMount, maxmount.com. We are back to Green Flag Racing. Donald Stewart talking about staying out there in front. Well, he's got 52 laps to go. We still have yet to see Green Flag pit stops. We're hoping for him. I tell you, one driver, though, I am very impressed with out tonight is the number 33 of Devin Armstrong. Now, Devin Armstrong has been riding along here in 5th position. 5th, 4th, 3rd. He's led a couple laps. very consistent for Devin Armstrong. Ronald Klein, we have got the number 10, making his way up there to second position. You know, so I don't know. Devin Armstrong, I believe I picked him the other night. He fell a little bit short, but he's got some stiff competition up here tonight with Ronald Klein.
Yeah, Ronald Klein and Mark Jackson, I think they're getting, you know, pretty stiff competition. But yeah, Devin's been doing a really good job. He's got that truck running pretty good tonight too.
We are getting ready to go 3 wide. Oh, Ronald Klein backed it off. Ronald Klein having an opportunity to go 3 wide on Covington and Armstrong with Mark Jackson in tow, but backed off of it, and here comes Dustin Lee in the number 32. Mark Jackson all over the number 33 like a hair in a biscuit. Now, something I am finding interesting here, if you look real close at this track, Alan, as they come off that backstretch, there are 5 distinct grooves that come down to 4. You know, there is plenty of room to go 3 wide, but a couple of drivers backing off that 3 wide as Mark Jackson comes around the number 33 of Devin.
Yeah, they come down to 3 wide there because a lot of times what happens is when you get into that corner, if you're not just, you know, on the right exact line, one of them cars on the inside is going to slide up to the outside and take you out. So even though there's room for 5 to be there, you got to give the trucks that are coming off the corner room to come out, because a lot of times you can't hold it down there on that low line.
Jason Covington in the number 10, staying ahead of the number 48. Several drivers laps down. Brian Bizzle, our first driver, 1 lap down in the number 9. Brian Dorsett 1 lap down. David Washington 2 laps down. Gary Whitmer 2 laps down as well in position 25. Everybody's getting pretty psyched up about our biggest race of the year, Alan, coming up on December 23rd. We've got the Sanadega. This year we're being held at Auto Club. We had changed it over from Talladega because sometimes Talladega, well, it's like tonight at Michigan. It can be pretty rough, but Auto Club, another one of those huge, wide tracks based upon the racing we've had over the last few weeks. How do you think that Sanadega is going to go at Auto Club?
Well, honestly, it's basically a sister track to Michigan, so you can pretty much base how that one's going to go on this one, and then how did Auto Club go in the pad race the other night?
It was a little rough.
Yeah, so I'm not quite sure Auto Club is the right place to take that, but you know, it's already set, so let's try it.
But you know, Alan, now we can't go back on what we had said just a few minutes ago. You can't blame the track. We should be able to take it down to Bristol. Well, I don't talk about Martinsville. God hates Martinsville, I'll tell you what. But we should be able to take it down to Bristol or Martinsville or Dover or Talladega. And overall, we should be able to end up with the same end results of everybody coming off saying it's a good race.
Yeah, you should be able to. But a lot of drivers seem to, how would I say it, run out of talent.
You know, and it's interesting. I have seen the guys go caution-free at every track a mile and a half above. Now, we've never gone caution-free at anything like Dover or Martinsville. I mean, or Bristol. It's just not going to happen. Oh, in the front. Wow, that was tight. You know, but what I'm saying is they have gone caution-free at Daytona. They have gone caution-free at Auto Club. And we have pretty much the same group of drivers in and out nightly. So I don't know, maybe it's the day of the week.
Yeah, practice, like you said, though, that has a lot to do with it. Patience has a lot to do with it, and you know, there's a lot of factors that go into it too.
Driver up in the wall. We are staying green, but a driver is up onto that wall. Ronald Klein sitting up in third position. Donald Stewart up in front. Mark Jackson in second position. Ronald Klein in third. Devin Armstrong in fourth. That number 10 doing a great job tonight. Jason Covington running with loose lug nuts. Number 48 hot in tow. Lap 82 of 125, 43 to go.
We're getting kind of a green look here.
We are. You know, we might be running the most amount of green flag laps we have run yet. No green flag pit stops as of yet, but these drivers, they're still going to have to go in for fuel, that's for sure. Now, unfortunately, our race fans and viewers can't view it, but these drivers have had a new iRacing update. You can only see it in your vehicle, so the broadcasters cannot see it. But Alan, what do you think about that new update? Tell us about it.
Well, I can only go by what I've heard. I've heard it's pretty cool. It is a automated pits. You get your pit guys coming out and changing your tires, and you hear the zing, zing, zing of the lug nuts coming off and going back on. And
you haven't seen it yet.
No, I've been on the road, but I haven't seen it yet.
We need to get you a wheel in that tractor.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, I tell you what, it is pretty cool, and I do know when we didn't see it on the broadcast, we checked with iRacing, and it is scheduled to be coming out in spring or early summer. But basically, you will actually be able to see the pit guys jumping over the hood of the car, and you, like you said, you hear that zing zing of those power machines out there. Cool thing. The guys are really loving it.
Yeah, I've heard that it's pretty hard to get. You got to be exact in your pit stall. If you're just a little bit too far forward or a little bit too far back, it won't pit you.
Oh yeah, pitting is definitely much more complicated now. The guys have really got to work. Ronald Klein out there on that front line with Mark Jackson. Devin Armstrong sitting off in third position. Again, talking about Devin Armstrong, Dustin Covington in fourth position. Tristan Beats has moved up there into sixth. Racing gets just Jason Covington. Now, wouldn't that be cool for two Covingtons to pull out a top three? That would be really cool. I tell you what, Craig Covington, the father of the bunch, would be really proud.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool, kind of reminiscent of back in the Dale Earnhardt, Dale Jr. days when they could finish right 1, 2, or 3, 4 right together.
Right now, Ronald Klein out there on that front line being pressured on by Mark Jackson and Devin Armstrong. Devin Armstrong putting a little bit more pressure on Mark Jackson than Mark Jackson is on Ronald Klein. Mark Jackson very patient. Devin Armstrong wanting to get up there. We are on lap 87 of 125. Should be nearing some green flag pit stops, or at least we hope. John Hedrick out there on that K-Mate TV chat rooting on Jason Covington, Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson all over the rear end of Devin Armstrong. Checking in on your buddy, James Brown. James Brown a little bit further back in that field. currently is in 22nd position. John Pansula sitting in 9th. So what is up with the Burger King truck? I've never seen John in a Burger King truck.
I think he pulled it out and dusted it off from a while back. I'm not really sure. I haven't talked to him about that.
So somewhat of a throwback. 3 wide back here. 3 wide, 3 wide. Plenty of room to go 3 wide. Nothing but a thing. So a little bit of a throwback.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's what it was. I think he pulled it out from underneath the cover. He hasn't run it in quite a while, and figured he'd see how it did here at Michigan.
Well, I tell you what, the level of racing has definitely stepped up in the latter part of tonight's race. Seeing a lot more give and take. Unfortunately, several drivers knocked out early, but these remaining drivers doing a pretty decent job. Lee Ryerson sitting back in 27th position, racing against the number 9. Number 9 belonging to Brian Bizzle. Lee Ryerson getting a little tight. Jake Ritchie in camera view in the Reese's Chevy Silverado. This is the Happy Birthday Ivan Garcia, Michigan 125. Now I tell you what, Alan, I do not know your age. I'm not going to put you on the spot here. I know you're not 73 years of age. I'm not 73. I'm getting there. Getting there. Forget, the memory thing, the old age, forgetting to unmute my mic. It's already happening. But I'd say, can you imagine being 73 years of age?
Yeah. No, I can't imagine me at 73 years of age, but it ain't too far off either. So I kind of feel what you're saying there.
But I tell you what, Ivan has been racing with KMA for, I would say about 3 years. And, Ivan, he's a little bit crotchety, but I tell you what, he is one of the most kind-hearted people that I have ever met in my life. Very religious, very sensible. 73 years of age takes its toll on the hearing, if you will. But I tell you what, Ivan, he's a very good friend of mine. I've gotten very personal with Ivan. And, that's one thing that's really cool about iRacing. I know you've gotten very personal with James Brown and John Pansula. Talk to us about these relationships that are formed within iRacing.
Yeah, definitely. It all started one fateful night at 5:30 in the morning when Jim texted me. It's kind of a long story, but to make a long story short, I was offering people on PlayStation a chance to try iRacing free, and would let them use my account, and I'd walk them through getting it all set up and trying it as long as they had a computer and a wheel, because a lot of the guys over there on PS4 were they had the wheels, they just didn't have the knowledge of the iRacing. So I'd let them try it out, and that's what happened with James Brown and me. He called me up, or actually texted me at 5:30 in the morning one morning, because I had put on their website about me, letting his team, because he was with Cora over there on PS4. He had this all set up on PS4 where they would run leagues and stuff. And I put a post on his website, hey, anybody interested in trying iRacing? And he texted me one morning about 5:30 in the morning, and I called him right back immediately. And it was like, it just blew him away. And he tried it out, and he's been addicted ever since. And then the rest of them are just friendships that we've made, throughout the time that we've been on with Cora, and started the Sunday Money series, which is coming back, by the way, very soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But it's definitely, I'm loving it. I've got to meet quite a few of these drivers. I've met James many times. I was just down at John Pansula's here a couple of weeks ago down in Florida. That's kind of the advantage I have of driving a truck. I can meet a lot of these people. I've met Everett Lane. I've met a few other drivers.
Well, I tell you what, if you're ever here in Illinois, we are in the capital city. Come hook me up. And my wife, she's a great cook. We'll feed you up a good home-cooked meal. For sure, that would be a pleasure.
Yeah. I get through Springfield quite a bit, actually. I go up and down I-55 on a regular basis.
I-55, the main thoroughfare between Chicago and St. Louis. Now, I myself, I have met Edward Bray. I have met... Whoa, we got a spinner. We got a spinner, and caution is out. Now, we were in-car camera right there with Kevin Scott Nelson. He saved it. But man, he went for a ride. We're going to jump that up into chopper view. We're going to back that up as the number 224 of Kevin Scott and the number 17. Looking to see what exactly happened. 17 up a little bit. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to back this up. That is Jake Ritchie. Okay, we're going to stop right here, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that yellow line. Now look up that track at that black crack. That kind of rhymes. Now we're going to go forward a little bit. Watch the positioning of the number 17 on that black crack, and you can clearly see that the right side tires are on that black crack, but at time of contact, the left side tires, Jake Ritchie going up into the number 224, going for a spin. Now, Alan, that's a bummer right there because no damage to the 17, but unfortunately, Kevin Scott Nelson went for a ride, I tell you what.
Yeah, he did. That was a heck of a save. He had it saved.
Well, that will be our 8th caution of the night coming out on lap 97 of 125.
Yeah, that almost deserves an award. We should give out the Save of the Race award, right?
And I know he did a great job out there. Looking at the number 72 of Ivan Garcia underneath our 8th caution of the night. I do want to talk to Ivan Garcia one more time. Once these drivers do get caught up, we're going to take a look at our running order as these drivers do head off into pit row. So it's going to obviously change, but right now we've got Mark Jackson, no surprise, Devin Armstrong, Tristan Beats up into 3rd position, John Pansula in 4th, Jason Covington still a strong handle out there, James Brown sitting in 11th, Gary Whitmer Jr. sitting in 12th position. Ivan Garcia, I do want to talk with Ivan one more time. He is our birthday boy. And, he chose this Michigan track, so let's get a hold of Ivan and see what Ivan is thinking right now. How about it, Ivan? Have you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, now, Ivan, we have talked to you one time tonight. I know I'm interrupting your pace situation here, so if you can't respond, don't respond. Because we're advocates of safe driving and I am causing you to be distracted. But I do want to talk to you one more time before the race is over because you are the man of the hour. You are the birthday boy. 8 cautions out here tonight, Ivan. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking it's very bad, real bad. I mean, we could do better than this, really. Because we do this every night. And sometimes we go green, like Tuesday, we went green all the time, and it's a good race.
All right, but I tell you what, Ivan, what's the atmosphere out there? I mean, nobody's pulling out their guns and like firing out their truck windows, are they?
Oh no, they just taking chances. I say that. I say they're taking a little more chance than usual because it's a big track, and they take a little more chances. But other than that, I was messed up a little bit here. I got hit 2 times, so it's still good, God bless them all. And I hope we finish on the green. Guys, finish on the green.
Well, you get back there, up there, and you give them some hell. Now, Ivan, next week we are heading out for Indianapolis. Alan and I were talking about these drivers that blame the track. Oh, we ain't been to Michigan forever. We ain't been to Indianapolis forever. It's the dang track. It's the dang vehicle. Do you agree with that? Or do you think it's more actual driver responsibility?
It's driver's responsibility. I mean, you hold the wheel. The car don't steer itself, and you know, the track is a track. You have to drive it like any other track, you know, with patience, and you know, see what the track can give you. Don't take over what you're supposed to get.
All righty, copy that. Now I will let you know, Ivan Garcia, you do got some pretty severe front end damage. Are you going to play the odds and stay out, or are you going to go in and get that fixed?
Oh, I don't think they're gonna fix it, but I'm going in.
All righty. Have you got your backup yet?
Oh yeah, I used them a long time ago.
Both of them.
Yeah, I got into a couple of incidents that wasn't mine. I was the victim.
All righty, copy that. Well, I tell you what, Ivan, I probably won't talk to you tonight again unless you get a top 3. So I would sing happy birthday to you, but you know, all my followers, they'd probably leave me and hang up on me. But nonetheless, happy birthday to you. We love you, Ivan. We're glad you're here. We thank you for the race tonight.
We thank you for the race, Scott. You're the man of the hour. God bless you, man.
Yeah, I want to take this opportunity too to say happy birthday, Ivan.
Yeah, thank you, buddy.
All right, you go get him, Ivan. Give him hell.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And I tell you what, Alan, you know, one thing that I am really proud of with here at KMA, you know, I am still, as a broadcaster, I am still relatively young. I've only been doing the broadcasting now for maybe 4 months, 5 months. So I'm still making my mistakes with a little bit of the microphone muting, or I stick a graphic up there and Becky can't see what's going on, and she's been a great help. She's been a godsend. Scott, drop the graphic. Or like you and Chris did tonight. You know, when I do those commercials, I'll press that mute button so nobody can hear me take a drink, a coffee, or catch my breath. You know, and when the races turn bad, you know, my point is through all this, we talked about the friendships that are formed, the fan bases that are built, and the driver relationships that are formed. And I tell you what, I still stand by the guys over here at KMA Racing League, the guys over here at Loose Lug Nuts League. We are the two well, with Cora too. I mean, Cora is very strong. But, you know, KMA and Loose Lug Nuts, the Racing League, we've got a very special relationship. And like I have a relationship with my fans, all is forgiven. And I tell you what, the brotherhood, which is what I've always stressed here at KMA, man, what are your thoughts on all that?
Yeah, it's definitely it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. I wish I could spend more time at home, you know, but I got to keep Hamburger and the Hamburger Helper. But you know, I really want, you know, it's really like we're one big family. You know, all the iRacers are all, you know, I don't really know of a whole lot of people that it's just like NASCAR. You know, a friend needs help, you help them out. You know, and that's the way it is. And I really enjoy the atmosphere.
Now, we've had several of our drivers get into trouble with computer parts. Now, Ronald Klein actually helped. Well, there's no helping to it. Ronald Klein was solely responsible for helping me out with the computer that I am running all of the broadcasting software on. And I tell you what, it kicks ass. It's simple as that. Chris Hogue fell into problems with the video card. Skylar Allen popped out. After the holidays, we're going to try our best to get Chris Hogue permanently fixed up. But you know, the brotherhood out here that stands is really a truly and wonderful thing.
Oh, absolutely. We enjoy running with the KMA. Cora is just absolutely loving running with KMA and building the relationships and the friendships that we have over here, so that when we get up and rolling, you know, we can still all be one big happy family and have you guys come and race with us.
And we are still under caution. Lap 104 of 125 out there on that front line. You know, everybody's battling up for that front line right now, but Mark Jackson looking really good out there. Mark Jackson might indeed be the man to beat tonight.
Yeah, I really believe he is.
Devin Armstrong. Now, I've picked Devin twice this week to win it, and he has not brought it home for me. So, you know, I am still standing off with Devin Armstrong, but he's got some pretty stiff competition out here.
Yeah, that he does. That he does.
Ronald Klein, Tristan Beats battling it out for third and fourth. We haven't talked a lot about Tristan Beats now. Tristan Beats, part of the KMA Young Guns, and he is a young gun himself, looking at about 17, 18 years old. Devin, a younger gentleman himself. Mark Jackson, a veteran in his 40s. Ronald Klein, late 30s. How much age factor do you think boils into these long-haul races out here?
I don't know. I've seen some pretty talented younger kids. We had a little protege, if you want to call him that, one of the best I've seen. I don't know if you know him, Nicholas Doucette, that ran with Cora, and that kid is just absolutely phenomenal.
I've ran with Doucette.
Yeah, when he started running with us, he was only like 11 or 12 years old, and he was kicking all our butts.
He's a chipmunk.
Kind of embarrassing.
Now here at KMA, we call those guys chipmunks, and normally chipmunks get us all into a bundle. But I tell you, we've had veterans out here tonight, Alan. I don't know, maybe I should have made this a chipmunk race.
There you go.
I remember Nicholas Doucette, though. I have run with Nicholas Doucette, and I do remember that because the name is Doucette, and I had a hard time pronouncing that name. But I do remember Nick, and wow, he has come into KMA and kicked our butt several times.
Yeah, that kid is phenomenal. He's
whoa,
amazing.
Contact! 211 into the 76. 76 rolling on, but 211, no caution. But I tell you what, now you said you're on a delay. Watch that 211 Nick that 76. Tell me when you get her up.
Okay, we'll do that. I'm about a minute and a half behind on the broadcast.
Well, I tell you what, no caution fell, but there was definite contact between the 211 and the 76, but no caution. Nobody spun, but the 211, unfortunately, taking the break of that one there. Ronald Klein, that'll put him out there in the front, ahead of the number 10. Mark Jackson, Devin Armstrong, positions 1 and 2. 109 of 125, 16 to go, 12 lead changes, 8 cautions, totaling 30 laps. So 30 laps of 109 under caution. All right, let me get out my little algebra book, and we're looking at 30, 60, 90. We're looking at, wow, 1/3 of tonight's laps under caution here at Michigan.
Yeah, that's almost,
it's a rough night.
Acceptable. Yeah, definitely a rough night.
But a fun night. And all that matters tonight is that Ivan Garcia has a very good time out here tonight. That's really all that matters. Appreciate you hanging out with me, Alan. Sometimes up here in the booth for 2 hours, I get a little lonely. You hear the sniffling. So I appreciate you coming down here and hanging out with me.
Not a problem. It gives me something to do here. I wind down for the evening, just get ready to crawl in the bunk and go to bed and get up and do it all over tomorrow again. I'm actually in Kansas right now. I'm on my way to Chicago.
Well, I tell you what, if you're able, I don't know if you're an independent driver or if you are a company driver, so I don't know if you got control over your call comm. Do they still use call comms?
Well, yeah, some companies do, but we use what we call PeopleNet, and it's similar to Qualcomm.
Been a long time. It has been. I tried the truck driving thing. Shoot, I am 48. It was 21 when I tried it. Didn't quite work out for me, so we're talking 26 years ago. And we had the Qualcomm, and we were still doing our logbook longhand. Do you still have to do them longhand?
Oh, no, we got electronic logs.
Oh, wow. You dog. Gotta love the technology, though. But, you know, if you're on your way to Chicago, if you're on a detour through Kansas City to Springfield, you'd probably lose about 200 miles. But, hey, if you want to drop by in the next couple days, we'll cook you a home-cooked meal. That would be really cool. Not sure if you can get your truck down my street, but we got a local parking lot down the street at the Kmart off the 55. So if you want to do that, you know, send me a message out there on Facebook. I would love nothing more to meet you. But do tell me, during these last 12 laps to go, what is the trucking industry like these days? Because you guys are the backbone. You guys, underappreciated, underrated. But, you know, if the trucking industry shut down, we would shut down.
Well, think about it. It's like if you would take away everything from around you and anything that you can see your view within your sight, take away everything that's been on a truck, you would be standing stark-ass naked in the middle of a field.
Copy that. And you know what the worst part about it is? To the four-wheelers, because that's what we called them out there, them four-wheelers, you guys oftentimes get a bad rep.
Oh, definitely. We're but just a bunch of sexed up, you know, drugged up, sex crazed maniacs.
Lot lizard looking people.
Yeah. We're just, you know, we're all piped up on meth all the time and running, you know, 24 hours a day, and that just ain't the way it is anymore.
No,
years ago there was people that, you know, that ran hard, you know, and they used a little bit of, you know,
amphetamines,
what we call high-speed chicken feed to do that. But no, them days are gone.
I remember when I was in truck driving school, the stipulations, as Mark Jackson comes around that lap traffic, the stipulations for getting a truck driver's license very stiff. And I was taking classes down in Crystal City, Missouri, out of St. Louis. Mark Jackson up there on that front line. And, man, I tell you what, the PTIs, the pre-trip inspection test, if you did not know your truck, and then having to back it down those cones, and then having to drive, you got out of truck driving school, but you still had to drive with a trainer for 6 to 12 weeks, and you were driving with a veteran driver, and these drivers, man, they didn't take this stuff lightly, I'll tell you what.
No, they didn't, and they still don't. And you know, it's a rough life out here. It really is. It's not for a family man. It's you know, it's a long, lonesome road. The flip side of the song, Convoy, I think it was.
My favorite movie.
Yeah, well, there was a song called Convoy, and the flip side of that 45 RPM was a song called It's a Long Lonesome Road Through the Lifetime of a Trucker. And yeah, it really is. It's a long, lonesome road.
And when I started this, I went out there when my baby girl was 5 months old. And, well, I didn't last but a couple of months because, you know, just wrong time. And I swore I would go back. When my kids graduated. My kids are both adults. And now I got 2 lovely granddaughters and a lovely 10-year-old grandson and KMA Racing and KMA TV. Ain't no way in hell I'm going back out now, brother.
Yeah, I really wish I could be a little bit more involved. You know, when I was doing Cora, when we had the Sunday Money series going, I wasn't driving at all. I was at home all the time. And when I went back on the road, it's kind of when Cora fell apart.
So have you got your own truck? Are you owner operator?
No. I drive for a company out of Oklahoma City, a company called Fry Miller. They're out
I've
of
heard
Oklahoma
of them.
City. Yeah, they're out of Oklahoma City, and I live in Wisconsin, so yeah, it's kind of a stretch to get home, but they do a pretty good job.
Well, I tell you what, if you could sidetrack from Kansas to Springfield over the next couple days on your way to Chicago, you give me a beep and we'll hook you up. If not, next time you're through, I would love nothing more to meet you. All right, back to racing. We've got Devin out there on that front line. Mark Jackson chasing him down. One more look at that running order. Devin Armstrong, Mark Jackson, Donald Stewart in third position, Ronald Klein in fourth, Dustin Covington. I really want to see one of the Covington guys get up here to a top 3 position. But right now, it is all about Devin Armstrong. And I called Devin Armstrong for the win. You heard it, ladies and gentlemen. He has failed me twice. He will not fail me a third time. Gary Whitmer Jr. sitting in 11th. Kevin Scott Nelson in 12th. Brian Bizzle in 20th, 1 lap down in that lucky dog position. 24 drivers back on this lead lap, or back on the laps. Ivan Garcia, 21 laps down, but I tell you what, Ivan Garcia is still on that track, 21 laps down, in it to win it. Final thoughts here as we approach 4 to go on Ivan Garcia here, Alan.
It's gonna get fun.
All right, we're going to bring up that comparison chart right now. We've got Mark Jackson behind that leader by 0.4 seconds. Donald Stewart currently in third, back 1.2 seconds. Oh, they're going to have a little bit of lap traffic to contend with. Now, what do you think of the lap traffic? Out here, you know, at Talladega, we got a rule, slower traffic go high, but out here on this 2-point-mile speedway, slower traffic don't have to go high. It's more so up to the leaders to work their way around.
Yeah, pretty much. Some of the drivers there, with the common courtesy, they'll stay real low or they'll go real high, but some of them want to try and stay on the lead lap and hope for a caution, so they'll just mix it right up with the leaders.
I have actually seen drivers that are a lap down block that lane on that leader. No case that way right now. We have got Devin Armstrong out there on that front line. Mark Jackson in second position. Lap 123 of 125. 2 to go. The cautions have settled down. We're going to finish under green flag racing, we hope. But if that caution does come out right now, Devin Armstrong will own it. Mark Jackson at 0.2 back. We've got those cameras focused on Mark Jackson and Devin Armstrong. I do believe Devin Armstrong in the Mickey D's McDonald's number 33. But I tell you what, I want to give a big shout out to Mark Jackson. His last 4 races, a win, a fourth, and a second. If things go as I expect them to go. My God, Mark Jackson, he's like an iRacing god. It's got to be the paint. It's got to be that over-the-top Paints and Designs paint.
Well, maybe he's not going to let you down again. Maybe Devin will take this one.
I'm thinking Devin's got this. We are on 125 of 125. 0 to go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe Devin Armstrong will bring her home tonight, along with Mark Jackson. All right. What a run tonight for Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson sitting in second position. Devin Armstrong sitting in first place position. What a run out here tonight by Mark and by Devin. How about it, Mark Jackson? Have you got a copy?
Hi, Scott.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
Man, what a race.
What a race indeed. Donald Stewart taking third position. Let me get to Donald first, Mark, and I'll be right back. How about it, Donald Stewart? Have you got a copy?
Hey, Scott. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, Donald. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I recovered pretty good from that little incident me and Mark had. We were just racing hard, man. I don't know if I come down, if he come up. I mean, that was just racing hard.
All right, well, I tell you what, Donald, we got you all three lined up. What a great camera shot right there for positions 1, 2, and 3. Donald, talk to me about your race tonight.
Well, it was pretty good, actually. I was just trying to manage my tires, you know, and gain positions as I could gain them, and I was working my way through the field pretty good there. I believe if I had 5 more laps, Scotty, I believe I would have been able to pass him.
Well, you did a hell of a job out here, Donald Stewart. Talk to me about your sponsors in the Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah, this was just a truck that I picked up on Trading Paints, but my sponsor is John Hendrick with Over the Tops Paint and Designs. If you need any kind of trucks painted, or the Xfinity, or the SS, or whatever you need done, he's even doing the rallies, I think, now. Best painter on iRacing.
Awesome stuff right there. All right, Donald Stewart with 3rd place position. Good job.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you for everything y'all do, and congratulations to Devin on the win.
All righty, how about it, Alan Larson? I'm going to let you talk to Mark.
Hey, Mark, congratulations on the week you've been having, bud. That's what, a second, 2 firsts, and a 4th. That's a pretty good week.
Yes, thank you, Alan. Yeah, it's been a pretty good week. You know, we got some new equipment under our over-the-top paints and design Chevy. So, man, just got to say hats off to Devin up there, and as Donald was talking about, you know, we had a little bit of contact there, racing kind of hard. I felt bad for him, and he recovered, and he was coming for us. I think if we had a couple more laps left, he'd have got by me for sure. But all in all, man, what a race.
Yeah, it was an awesome race, sir. Congratulations again on a good 2nd place finish.
Thank you, Alan. I want to wish my buddy happy birthday. Man, been racing with him for so long. It's just incredible. Ivan Garcia, we love you, man. Sorry to see him fall out of the race a little early, but he's with us in spirits up here in this number 3 truck. Hats off to KMA. Hope everybody has a great week, and just all in all, man, just what a fun place to be. What a fun racetrack, and got to give props to Devin up there, man. He drove his ass off.
All righty, good job there, too. Mark Jackson taking 2nd place position. Hell of a week, Mark Jackson. Good job.
Thank you, Scotty.
All righty, how about it, Devin? Have you got a copy?
Yes, sir. Gotcha.
All right, Devin, talk to us about, well, don't talk to us about the first 60, 70 laps. We don't want to hear about that crap. Talk to us about those last 40 laps, Devin.
Man, that was a tough racing there for a while this week. I didn't think Mark was going to be able to be beat, but that last run, I tried to save as much tire as I could. I knew the guys behind us was going to be bearing down on us real quick, so I tried to save as much as I could, and that last 10 or 15 laps is when my car really came to life, and that's when we made our move, and it's fun, man. It's I've been trying to win one of these things for a while now since I've been in the league, so and here we are.
Well, I tell you what, I have voted for you the last 3 races, and tonight you bring it home for me. Talk to me about the Cessna Credit One Bank number 33 Mickey D. Simons. How'd the truck handle tonight?
It handled really good. It gets tight on the long run, but if you like I said, if you back your corners up, you can get through the corner really well, which is what I was trying to do all night. But this Cessna Credit One truck was really good tonight, so I'm looking forward to the next one.
Now I tell you what, Devin. One more question. You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of Michigan. What was up with the 8 cautions? We didn't see any green flag pit stops, but you guys were probably about 10 laps out of a green flag pit stop the first part of the race. Well, you know what? It sucked. I mean, I'm going to be I'm a straight shooting guy. What do you think the difference was between the first half of the race, the first 3 quarters of the race, and the last quarter?
Well, I think the biggest thing was starting out this race, people didn't know how their trucks were going to handle in a big pack, and these trucks are really notorious for pushing up off the corner. And 9 times out of 10, going into the first few turns, you've always got somebody on your outside. So I think that's a lot of what was happening. Was a lot of guys weren't expecting their trucks to push as much as they were, and there was always somebody to the outside. But as the race went on, guys started figuring out how to get their trucks to stick to the bottom. And once we figured that out, man, the race went really well. I hate we didn't get to do any green flag pit stops because that's always my favorite part. But Like I said, we'll get him on the next one. We'll see what happens.
All righty, copy that. Good job, Devin Armstrong winning the happy birthday Ivan Garcia, Michigan International Speedway 125. Devin Armstrong bringing her home.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Ivan, have you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ivan, you are the man of the hour. I'm going to talk to you one more time, buddy. Final thoughts. I want you to close us out as we show those race results.
Yes, sir. It was hectic for the beginning, but at the end it mellowed down and it was nice and smooth going. And I thank for everybody who showed up, and the winner, congratulations, Devin. And thank you guys for coming, and thank you for being here for me. And thank you, Scott. You the most.
Ivan.
I love you today.
Yeah, you're not going to get off that easy. Now, I tell you what, Ivan, I am 40-some. I'm not going to reveal it. I am 40. Okay, I'm 48. I don't care. I'm 48. I don't care. How do I get to be 73 years of age, brother?
All you have to do is just keep on living, don't let nothing worry you, man, really. Yeah, advice to you is not to worry about the negatives, okay? Don't even think about the negatives. Just go positive, positive, positive. Don't look back. Don't look at nothing. Just, things bother you, pay no attention to it. Just turn your ear the other way or whatever. And you forget about things and you live a happy life. And that's the main goals, okay?
All right, I tell you what, Ivan, we love you. I'm not going to sing you happy birthday. They'd probably fire me off of my job. You know what? I tell you what. Happy birthday to you. All right, that's about as good as we're going to get, Ivan. Good job tonight, Ivan. We love you out here at KMA. We're glad you're here. And Ivan Garcia, good finish tonight. You survived, and that's all that matters.
Yes, it is. That's all that matters. And have a different day. And, we'll see you when? Tomorrow? No, Monday.
Monday at Indianapolis.
Yeah, good track, too.
All right, Ivan Garcia, happy birthday. I'll catch up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. This is KMA TV. I am Scott Kolovic, your commentator for the night. And we'll catch you out on Monday at Indianapolis. Have a good night.